Hello and welcome to another Magic the Gathering unboxing. So today we're going to be taking a look at Dragons of Tarkir, which came out this Friday. It's the new expansion set from the Khans of Tarkir block, and I suppose it marks a bit of a closing off in Magic history, because from this point onwards, once we get to the last core set we're going to see, which is now called, I think, Magic the Gathering Origins, which would have been M16. We're going to now see blocks that comprise of just 2 sets, and there'll be no core sets. So this is the last of the 3 set blocks that we'll see, unless of course they change their minds. So let's open this up. The contents hasn't really changed at all since a previous Fat Pack unboxing I've done. We still get 9 boosters in here. We still get the player's guide with the visual encyclopedia, the card box, which is this sort of forms into the boosters, the 80 card basic land pack, the spin down counter, and sort of 2 just very basic thin cardboard deck boxes. So let's crack this open and have a look at the first thing I think we'll take a look at is the Encyclopedia, so that you can see, if you're not too familiar with the set, it'll give you a bit of an overview as to the flavour and what's in the set. So the other thing is, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this in my unboxings, is that these outer shells, they always fold out into extended artwork, basically. Okay, let's just take out all of this. Oops. Okay. Interesting dice we have there. It's like a, if you can see that, it's a translucent, sparkly yellow 20-sided dice there. Okay, we've got a rules reference card, which they use all the time, which has sort of taken the place of that how to play guide. So they've simplified that. Now, the rest of our boosters, I'll just put those to one side. Our land pack, we'll have a look at the artwork for that. Our Encyclopedia, which we'll have a look at. And let's just look at the artwork on these deck boxes. Obviously good for storing unsleeved cards, but beyond that, not a lot of functionality if you sleeve up your decks. So they're handy for storing your spare land. If you've opened enough of these Fat Packs, you obviously have a wide variety of land artwork to choose from. So there you can see there's the artwork on there. Get the idea. Okay. So first up, I'm just going to look at the Encyclopedia. Okay, so the first thing it does is looks at the draconic clans of Tarkir. So I'm not going to go into too much detail of the backstory of this. Let me just try and stop that from shining too much. But basically, we're talking about like an alternative timeline to the story here. So if this were a different present, Tarkir would be in the clutches of 5 powerful Khans. The deserts and the forests would be rife with bloodshed and plagued by war. The clans will be locked in battle for control of immense fortunes and vast kingdoms. But this is not that present. This present was never the Khans to rule. This present belongs to the dragons. So we're talking about an alternative timeline, alternative history here. So there's a bit about so this would be drafting. Okay, so they're talking about when you draft this, how that works. So it's going to talk about each of the Dragon Lords for those clans. And a Planeswalker profile for Sark and Vol. And also what they've done here is they've sort of explained the altered fates for the different characters. One timeline versus the other. You sort of see that. Dragon Lords, Heralds of War, Witness to Change, Weaponsmith Legacy, Servants of Vice, True Savagery. So again, it's just going through some of the arcs in the story and within the card, the set design. Then we get the 10 coolest dragons of Tarkir cards, which you always get, a 10 coolest cards in the set in these encyclopedias. So we got Sarkhan Unbroken, Ajutai Exemplars, Dragon Lord, Silmagar, Warbringer, Sidisi Undead Vizier, Icefall Regent, Narset Transcendent, Scale Guard, Sentinels, Suruk the Hunt Caller, and Thunderbreak Regents. And then we get into the actual card encyclopedia here. So it's obviously going to go through all the cards in both colour and within the colours alphabetical order. So that's basically by what's called card number. There you go. And then we move on to obviously the multicoloured, the artefacts, and then finally finishing up with any lands, any non-basic lands here, not that much, and then the actual artwork for the basic lands. And then you get your card checklist at the back. So just there if no one's ever seen what those look like. So, quick look at the artwork. Let's just zoom in. See that really well for those that enjoy the artwork in the different sets and look to try and complement different styles of deck with different artwork from the different sets of Magic over the years. So we just flip through this until we start to see repeating artwork. Normally you get, I think, about 4 different types of artwork within each set. In the past it's maybe much smaller amounts of different artwork, like earlier sets maybe only 3. So as with all new cards, very slippery. So we can start to see some of the artwork recurring here. But hopefully you're just getting a feel for the landscape of this particular set. There's 19 cards in here. Obviously a good deal of fire here as well, seeing as it's a Dragons themed set. Okay, so that's our artwork for the lands, and you get 80 lands there. Okay, so let's do some cracking of packs. Okay, so starting with our commons and working through, we got Quasi Sadist, Lose Calm, Champion of Ereshin, Grave Purge, Ataka Beastbreaker. That has Formidable on it. 4 colourless and a green, so with Araka Beastbreaker gets +4/+4 until end of turn. Activate this ability only if creature you control have total power 8 or greater. Mystic Meditation, Spider Silk Net, Vulturous Avon. This has exploit on it, so as well as flying. So exploit: when this creature enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice a creature. When Vulturous Avon exploits a creature, you draw 2 cards and you lose 2 life. Misttooth Kurin has Megamorph on it in addition to flying and vigilance. So with Megamorph 1 and a white, you may cast this card face down as a 2/2 creature for 3, turn it face up any time for its Megamorph cost, and put a +1/+1 counter on it. A Jutai's Summons. It's got rebound on that. So if you cast this spell from your hand, exile it as it resolves. At the beginning of your next upkeep, you may cast this card from exile without paying its mana cost. Sarkhan's Triumph. So we're moving on to uncommons for this pack. Explosive Vegetation. Meringue River Skeleton. Also has Megamorph on it, so its Megamorph cost is 3 in the black. So our rare is Radiant Purge. 1 and a white instant. Exile target multicoloured creature or multicoloured enchantment. Plains and an advert. So just looking at those first few cards, we're able to get a feel for the mechanics in the set. These are a couple of new ones there. Sabertooth Outrider. Another one with Formidable on it in addition to Trample. So again, this whole total power of 8 thing that it sort of revolves around. Dramoka Dunecaster. Sibsig Icebreakers. Magnetic Chasm. Anticipate. Colostodon Yearling. Shape the Sands. A Jutai's Summons. We saw that one, I think, had rebound. Ancestral Statue. Sprinting Warbrute has dash on it, which we saw in the previous set. So just to remind people that, or those that may not have seen this particular ability, dash 3 red here. When you cast this spell for its dash cost, if you do, it gains haste and it's returned from the battlefield to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. Battle Mastery. So we're on our uncommons now. Silk Wrap. Dragonloft Idol. And our rare is Dragon Tempest. So 1 and a red enchantment. Whenever a creature with flying into the battlefield under your control, it gains haste until end of turn. Whenever a dragon enters the battlefield under your control, it deals X damage to target creature or player, where X is the number of dragons you control. Forest artwork and a goblin token. Quasi Sadist. This has got exploit on it. So when this creature enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice a creature. When Quasi Sadist exploits a creature, your target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Sabertooth Outrider, Formidable on it. Champion of Rashin. Shambling Goblin. Durga Nemesis has Defender and Megamorph for 6 and a blue. Tagum Strike has rebound on it. Silumgar Butcher, another one with exploit on it. So when it enters the battlefield, you can sacrifice a creature. In this case, when it exploits a creature, target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. Evolving Wilds is the non-basic land, one of the non-basic lands that's in the set. I like the new art. I like this artwork as well on the Evolving Wilds here. Very cool. Sandcrafter Mage, Stormcrag Elemental. Has Megamorph for 4 and 2 red on it. So we're moving on to our uncommons. Skywise Teachings. Blood Chin Rager. And our rare is Sunbringer's Touch. So 2 and 2 green sorcery with bolster X on it, where X is the number of cards in your hand. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it gains trample until end of turn. To bolster X, choose a creature with the least toughness among creatures you control and put an X +1/+1 counters on it. There's a foil in here. It's uncommon. Surge of Righteousness, 1 and a white, instant. Destroy target black or red creature that's attacking or blocking you, gain 2 life. Mountain and a Yin Monk token. Okay. Moving swiftly on. Resupply. Hand of Silumgar. Death touch on it. Anticipate. Oops. Tarkir Beastbreaker, we saw that earlier. Sarkhan's Rage. Vial of Dragonfire. Butcher's Glee. Ojotai Interceptor. It's got Megamorph for 3 and a blue on it. Herald of Dromakar. Ruthless Defang. Oh, sorry, Ruthless Deathfang are on commons now. Salt Road Ambushes. This has Megamorph for 3 and 2 green. Scale Blessing. It's got bolster on it, bolster for 1. Pristine Skywise is our rare, 4 white blue for a 6/4 creature dragon with flying. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, untap Pristine Skywise, it gains protection from the colour of your choice until end of turn. And a foil Ancient Carp, which looks pretty cool. 4 and a blue, it's a common 2/5 vanilla creature fish. But I love that artwork on there. And there's a swamp and, not surprisingly, a morph token, because we've got morphing going on here. Right. Okay. Dramoka Dunecaster. Sibsig Icebreakers, Magmatic Chasm, Sidisi's Faithful, it's got exploit on it. So this exploit, this one, when Sidisi's Faithful exploits a creature, return target creature to its owner's hand. Enoch Artillerist, Reducing Stature, Dragon Eye Sentry, Guardian Shield Bearer, Megamorph 3 and green on that. Sarkhan's Rage, Vial of Dragonfire, Dance of the Skywise, so we're moving on to our uncommons. Dragon Lord Servant, dragon spells you cast cost 1 colourless less to cast. Deadly Wanderings, let's see what we have here. The Icefall Regent, 3/2 blue, flying, 4/3. When Icefall Regent enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls. That creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step for as long as you control Icefall Regent. Spells your opponent's cast that target Icefall Regent cost 2 colourless more to cast. Mountain and an advert card. So 4 packs left. So we've had our foil. Actually had a couple of foils. So we're just waiting to see if we're lucky enough to get a mythic. Marsh Hulk. It's a zombie ogre with Megamorph 6 and a black on it. Lose Calm. Territorial Rock. Anticipate. Sandsteep Scavenger. Ancient Carps, there's a regular non-foil one. Enduring Victory. It's got bolster 1 on it. Segmented Critique. And that's a Megamorph 6 green creature. Tail Slash. Defeat. Sullumgar's Scorn. Dragon Hunter. It's got protection from dragons on it, so we're moving into our uncommons now. Tapestry of the Ages. And our rare is Living Lore, which is 3 in a blue, creature avatar, star. So somewhere in its rules text, it should tell us what the power and toughness is going to be. As Living Lore enters the battlefield, exile an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard. Living Lore's power and toughness are each equal to the exiled card's converted mana cost. Whenever Living Lore deals combat damage, you may sacrifice it. If you do, you may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost. It's a swamp and a zombie horror token. Come out. Okay. Sandstorm Charger. Sibsig Icebreakers. That has a Megamorph and 4 and a white on it, by the way. Sibsig Icebreakers. Scream Reach Brawler. -1 and a red on it. Sandsteep Scavenger. Palace Familiar. Butcher's Glee. Glint. Pacifism, so new artwork for Pacifism. Guardian Shield Bearer, Megamorph 3 and a green on that. Tarkir Efreet, Megamorph 2 and a red on that one. Sleight of the Scale Lords, so we're moving on to our uncommons. Youthful Scholar. Foul Tongue Invocation. Collected Company is our rare, so 3 and a green instant. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. Put up to 2 creature cards with converted mana cost 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield. The rest on the bottom of your library in any order. We have an island and an add card. Right, so just 2 to go. Lose Calm, Champion of Arashin, Grave Purge, Dragon Fodder, Negate, Dragon Scarred Bear, Formidable, 1 in the green. Regenerate Dragon Scarred Bear, activate this ability only if creatures you control have total power 8 or greater. Sprinting Warbrute has -3 and a red on it. Naturalize. Sullumgar Butcher. So we've seen that one before with the exploit. Shape the Sands. Lightning Berserker. Also has dash for a single red on it. So we've got our uncommons here. Sullumgar Spell Eater. Megamorph 4 and a blue on that one. Foul Tongue Invocation. And our rare is Hidden Dragon Slayer. 1 and a white, creature human warrior, 2/1 with a lifelink and Megamorph 2 and a white. You may cast this card face down as a 2/2 creature for 3. Turn it face up any time for its Megamorph cost and put a +1/+1 counter on it. When Hidden Dragon Slayer is turned face up, destroy target creature with power 4 or greater and opponent controls. Forest and an advert. Okay, our last pack. So we've got Lightwalker, Wandering Tomb Shell, Mystic Meditation, Sandstep Scavenger, Segmentic Critique with Megamorph 6 green on that one, Tail Slash, Defeat, Reducing Stature, Enduring Victory, bolster for 1 colourless on that one. Oh sorry, no, bolster 1. Yep. Dance of the Skywise. So we're moving on to our uncommons. Salt Road Quartermasters, Orator of Ojutai, and what do we have here? So here's our mythic. Obviously saved it till the end one. Death Mist Raptor, 1 and 2 green for a 3/3 creature lizard beast. Has Death Touch on it, and whenever a permanent you control is turned face up, you may return Death Mist Raptor from your graveyard to the battlefield face up or face down. It has Megamorph on it, so 4 and a green. You may cast this card face down as a 2/2 creature for 3. Turn it face up any time for its Megamorph cost and put a 1/1 counter on it. So it looks like we might have a foil here as well. Yep. So we've got a nice foil artwork planes there. Very nice. Mountain and morph. So there we have it. The new Dragons of Tarkir expansion. We saw Bolster in there, and Dash was in there, and also we've got new things like Megamorph. And it was interesting that they sort of count there of cards if you were sort of keeping track on the so-called sort of premium cards and the mythics. So I think we ended up with 1 mythic and 3 foils. I think that was right. So we're pretty happy with the pulls there, and looks like a fun set with all these different interesting mechanics going on. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.